What's up guys, we're back with another comparison. This is another highly requested video, the Note 20 Ultra versus the iPhone 14 Pro here. So I think a lot of people were just curious about, just like the Note 10 Plus comparison, about speed and about the cameras, and also should you go old flagship versus new flagship. The Note 20 Ultra comes in at $450, which is crazy, and the 14 Pro will come in at $1,000. The bigger version will cost you a little bit more as well too. Alright, so if we go ahead and just bring up the Geekbench scores and go over the specs real quick, the Note 20 Ultra does have the Snapdragon 865 chip in it, and it actually has, that's not the right one, it actually has the SD card support, which is really awesome. It's one of the last Notes with SD card support, which is awesome. And yeah, so it's got Snapdragon 865, 256 gigs of internal storage and 12 gigs of RAM on this model. The iPhone is running iOS 16. It does have the A16 chip, and then you also have 128 and 6 gigs of RAM here. You can see the big score difference in the single and multi-core. But honestly, these phones, they feel pretty much on par with day-to-day use, especially since the Note 20 Ultra is running at 120 Hertz as well too. So we just go ahead and open up YouTube. You guys can see pretty much on par with each other, and like I said, that 120 Hertz scrolling on both these phones, it still feels super smooth on both. So you guys can see that. Let's go ahead and try Subway Surf. Boom. The Ultra gets in there a little bit quicker than the iPhone, actually a lot big. You might have a hiccup on here. Yeah, that was a little bit slower. Let me sure I'm on the same Wi-Fi. Yeah, I am. I don't know, it just kind of hiccuped up there. It usually doesn't take that long. Alright, so let's go ahead and just try a bit of a heavier game, like PUBG. Boom. So both these phones will do a phenomenal job when it comes to gaming performance as well too. So definitely do note that. If you guys haven't seen the Note 20 Ultra's gaming test, it does a crazy good job for an older flagship phone. iPhone getting there super fast, as you guys saw there. And then the Note 20 Ultra right behind it. So when we are actually playing games, for more demanding games like Genshin and stuff like that, yes, that extra power, you probably will see more consistent frame rates. But for the average casual gamer, you can see the Note 20 Ultra is playing at the same settings as the 14 Pro, and it's able to hold PUBG at 60 frames. Like I said, it's able to play Genshin at great frame rates as well too. So your gaming experience is going to be really great on both of these devices, and that's why I always recommend older flagships to a lot of people, because instead of getting a mid-ranger or a budget phone that it's not going to have anywhere near as much power, you can see that the Note 20 Ultra is very competitive even with the 14 Pro when it comes to basically the casual gaming experience. We're able to play at the same graphic settings. Alright guys, so let's talk about the displays on both of these two devices here. So with the Note 20 Ultra, it's a big display at 6.9 inches. It's a dynamic AMOLED, 120 Hertz. It's HDR10 plus. It's 1440p, 496 for the PPI. But the 120 Hertz only works at the 1080p resolution, so do note that. As you can see, it has a more boxier shape to it, and it also is a curved panel as well too. Has the punch hole in the middle. The iPhone is a completely flat display with the new pill shape cutout right here. This is the 6.1 inch LTPO XDR Retina display. It's 120 Hertz HDR10, and it's 1179 by 2556 resolution with 460 for the PPI. So you can see pretty much two completely different display designs here, and watching content on the Note is just going to be overall better in my opinion, because of the punch hole. It's just less intrusive than Apple's pill shape, which I like. I like the pill shape. I like that they moved away from the notch. So yeah, so as far as quality on both displays, they both look really great, very sharp panels, but I definitely give it to the Note as in terms of just watching content on here. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the build quality on both of these two devices here. So they still or the Note 20 Ultra still has a very nice, classy, premium feel to it. Both these phones have, you know, premium materials, glass and metal design, so they both feel awesome in the hand. Here, as you guys can see, just a little size comparison for you guys here. And like I said, both kind of boxy phones. The Note 20 Ultra goes for a more glossy look. You have a more matte finish on the 14 Pro here. You can see both phones have just these big camera modules on them as well too. You guys can see that. And they both have IP68 dust and water resistant as well. So one of the big things about the hardware is that on the Note you actually get the S Pen built-in stylus right here. So if you're somebody that is into digital artwork and stuff like that, or you just want to navigate with your stylus, you can do that on here. So definitely, if you're somebody that likes to draw, or you just like, you know, prefer having a stylus, this is definitely going to be very fun for you. It has a bunch of tips and trick videos that I've done, so you guys can check that out and take advantage of all the features. But definitely really nice to have. All right, let's go ahead and check out the stereo speakers on both of these devices. We're at max volume. Yeah, it's almost a tie. Both these speakers are actually pretty much on par with each other in terms of loudness, and bass quality is pretty close as well too. Yeah, they almost sound identical there. So excellent speakers on both of these devices. Like I was telling people, the S22 Ultra definitely took a step back just listening to the Note 20 Ultra. Just has a much better speaker. Let's go ahead and talk about some more additional features here. You do have face unlock on the Note 20 Ultra, but you also have the built-in fingerprint scanner, which is really nice and convenient. Apple only gives you one method, and of course that is the Face ID, which works flawlessly, by the way. It's excellent. But yeah, I do prefer having two methods. You know, something that sort of gets slept on with the Samsung phones is Samsung desktop support. It's really awesome as well too. You also have reverse wireless charging on here as well, secure folders. So Samsung throws in a lot of cool features in the software. And of course with iPhones, of course, people really love FaceTime. They're doing better with customizations and stuff like that, iMessage and all that good stuff. All right guys, let's go ahead and talk about the cameras. So the Note 20 Ultra still has an amazing camera setup. It's a 108 megapixel standard on here. It's a 12 megapixel periscope telephoto. It does 5x zoom. And then you also have 50 times hybrid zoom on here as well too. And you can also shoot in 8K 24 and then have a 10 megapixel selfie cam on here as well too that shoots in 4K 60. And I'll show you guys these side-by-side stills. But the iPhone here, it does have the 48 megapixel standard lens on here, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens that does up to 3x. And then you also have a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and then it also has a macro mode on here as well too, which gets really close up. And then you also have a 12 megapixel selfie cam that shoots in 4K 60. So be sure to let me know what you guys think about these stills in video. Here's the video on the Note 20 Ultra. We do have a 0.5. do have a 5x zoom. Get you really in close. Alright guys, here's the video on the iPhone. I have my 2x, 3x. My 0.6. Alright, and as for the battery life experience on both of these phones, you're getting a very good battery life experience, honestly. For the Note, you do have a very big 4,500 milliamp battery on here. You also have wireless charging with reverse wireless charging, and that is 25 watts. And then on the iPhone is a 3,200 milliamp battery, and then you also have the wireless charging with the MagSafe charging. The iPhone is able to get just excellent battery life because of the chip optimization and iOS and stuff like that. The Note 20 Ultra does an excellent job. Both of these phones easily get over 6 hours of screen on time, so you don't have to worry about battery life on either one of these devices. So be sure to let me know, which device do you guys prefer? What is your thoughts? And I'll catch you guys in the next one.